What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Cowboys News TV, where we bring you the latest updates, insights, and in-depth analysis of everything happening with our Dallas Cowboys. I'm Dave, and today, we've got some things to break down as we dive into the Cowboys' heartbreaking 28-25 loss to the Baltimore Ravens, which drops them to 1-2 on the season. But before we jump into this, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. We're closing in on our goal of 12,000 subscribers, and your support means everything to us. Help us get there. Your subscription makes a huge difference. Let's be real, Cowboys Nation. This game felt over before it even started. Once again, Dallas couldn't get off to a hot start, and for a team that's built to play with the lead, that's a recipe for disaster. After taking the opening kickoff, the offense failed to generate any momentum, and on defense, well, it was deja vu all over again. The Ravens gashed us on their first two possessions, and just like that, Dallas found themselves down 14-3 early. The only points we could muster in the first half came from Brandon Aubrey, and even that drive ended on a sour note when CeeDee Lamb fumbled the football inside the 10-yard line. Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. Do you think that fumble killed any early chance we had to keep this game close? Let us know in the comments and vote in our community poll. We love hearing from you. To make matters worse, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry did pretty much whatever they wanted to. Baltimore closed out the first half with another touchdown, extending their lead to 21-6 by halftime. I don't know about you, but at that point, it felt like the game was slipping away fast. Now, let's fast forward to the second half. Things didn't get any better after halftime. The Ravens came out, marched right down the field, and put up another score to make it 28-6. If you're like me, you were probably starting to think about Thursday's game against the Giants at this point. But then, something interesting happened. Dallas started showing some fight. It wasn't much, and it came a little too late, but it was something. In the fourth quarter, the offense finally found the end zone. It's like they suddenly remembered they could attack the middle of the field. Why it took them that long, I have no idea, but at least it gave us something to cheer about. This marked just the second offensive touchdown in 2 home games so far this season. Here's a question for you, Cowboys Nation. What do you think changed in that fourth quarter? Was it a shift in strategy or just the Ravens taking their foot off the gas? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get a conversation going. At 28-6, the Cowboys decided to take a chance with the new kickoff rule and went for an onside kick, and guess what? They recovered it. That's right, there was a glimmer of hope. Dak Prescott connected with Jalen Tolbert to cut the lead to 28-18, and after another defensive stop, Prescott found Kavonte Turpin for a touchdown, making it a 3-point game with just over 2 minutes left. It was like the game suddenly flipped, and for the first time all night, we actually had a shot to pull off a comeback. But when the defense needed a crucial stop the most, they just couldn't get it done. The Ravens held on, and the Cowboys were left to wonder what could have been. Look, Cowboys Nation, people can say whatever they want, but games like this show that there are deeper problems with this team. It all starts with the defense. We came into the season expecting that side of the ball to be our strength, but right now, it's hard not to feel like we jumped the gun after week 1. Anyone else getting flashbacks to the Mike Nolan defense of 2020? Let's not sugarcoat it. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense had their way with us, and when that happens, it doesn't matter what the offense does in the second half. You can't dig yourself into a 28-6 hole and expect to win in the NFL. What's even more concerning is the state of the offense. Mike McCarthy's game plan to start the year has been rough, to say the least. They lost Tony Pollard in the offseason, and now they're running it back with pretty much the same group of guys. The offense looked flat for 3 quarters before they finally started clicking in the fourth. Now, Cowboys Nation, I've got to ask, how do you feel about this game? Are you encouraged by the fight they showed in the fourth quarter, or are you more upset that they played so poorly for the first 3? Let us know in the comments below. It's always interesting to see where the fanbase stands after games like this. Looking ahead, Dallas has a chance to get back to .500 when they take on the New York Giants on Thursday night. It's a divisional matchup, and we all know those games have a little extra juice. The Cowboys should win that game, but you can't help but wonder how different this Ravens game could have been if CeeDee Lamb hadn't fumbled in the first quarter. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Could that fumble have been the turning point? Cast your vote in our poll and tell us what you think in the comments. We always value your opinions and insights. Alright, Cowboys Nation, let's take a step back and talk about what needs to change moving forward. As much as we want to believe this team has the tools to contend, there are glaring issues that can't be ignored. First off, let's talk about the defense. Coming into the season, there was a lot of buzz about how this defense was supposed to be a top-tier unit. Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and DeMarcus Lawrence were all expected to lead the way, but through 3 games, we've seen inconsistency. In Week 1, they looked unstoppable. But since then, it's been a different story. How do we explain this drop-off? Is it the scheme? Is it personnel? Or is it a lack of preparation and focus? One thing is for sure, Mike Zimmer was brought in to shore up this defense, and right now, it feels like they're underperforming. Giving up 190 rushing yards in Week 2 to the New Orleans Saints and then getting gashed again in Week 3 by Derrick Henry and the Ravens isn't what anyone expected. Zimmer's impact hasn't been as immediate as we'd hoped. I know it takes time to fully implement changes, but the clock is ticking. This defense needs to turn things around, and fast. What do you guys think? Is it time to hit the panic button on the defense, or do you believe they'll figure things out in time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Moving on to the offense, where do we even begin? Mike McCarthy's play calling has been highly questionable to start the year. It's clear that the loss of Tony Pollard has left a void in the run game, but that's not an excuse for the overall lack of creativity we've seen. There's no rhythm, no flow to this offense, especially early in games. In this latest loss to the Ravens, we didn't start attacking the middle of the field until it was too late. The fourth quarter comeback was exciting, but you can't wait until the last 15 minutes to start figuring things out offensively. Dak Prescott finally started getting into a groove late, connecting with guys like Jalen Tolbert and Cavante Turpin, but it was too little, too late. This leads me to another point: where is the urgency? It seems like this team lacks a sense of purpose until they're backed into a corner. That can't happen if you want to win consistently in the NFL. What adjustments do you want to see on offense? Is it time for McCarthy to change his approach, or do you think this unit can still find its footing in the coming weeks? Let us know in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. We also need to touch on the CeeDee Lamb fumble in the first quarter. Cowboys fans, that was a huge turning point. If Lamb holds onto that ball, the Cowboys could have come away with a touchdown and changed the entire momentum of the game. Instead, the Ravens took over, and Dallas never really got back into it until it was too late. Now, I'm not going to pile on CeeDee too much because we all know he's one of the most talented players on this roster. Mistakes happen. But in games like this, you can't afford to have those kinds of errors from your top guys. This game could have gone very differently if that play hadn't happened. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Was that the moment that turned the game? Let me know in the comments, and make sure to cast your vote in our community poll. Now, let's shift our focus to Thursday night, when the Cowboys face off against the New York Giants. This is a divisional game, and it's a prime opportunity to get back to .500. The Giants haven't looked great so far this season, and on paper, the Cowboys should be able to handle them. But here's the thing: after what we've seen in the last 2 games, can we be confident that this team will bounce back? Thursday night football games are notoriously tough, especially on a short week. The Cowboys will need to come out with more urgency from the opening kickoff if they want to avoid a 3rd consecutive loss. What are your predictions for Thursday's game against the Giants? Can Dallas right the ship, or are we in for another nail-biter? Share your thoughts, and let's get some discussion going. Alright, Cowboys Nation, that's going to do it for today's breakdown of the 28-25 loss to the Ravens. It's always tough to see our team go down, especially when it felt like there was a chance for a comeback late. But as much as we love that fight in the fourth quarter, we can't overlook the 3 quarters of struggle that got us into that hole in the first place. There's a lot of football left to be played this season, and I still believe this team can turn things around, but changes need to happen. The defense has to step up, the offense has to find some consistency, and McCarthy has to come up with better game plans if we're going to make a run in this division. Thanks for tuning in to Cowboys News TV. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future updates. We're getting close to 12,000 subscribers, and with your help, we'll hit that milestone in no time. As always, drop your comments below. We love hearing from you, and your feedback helps shape the future of this channel. Until next time, stay strong, stay loyal, and most importantly, go Cowboys!